You know, it's fairly easy to spot cults.
Don't you want a world of unconditional love and brotherhood?
Guaranteed, guaranteed. It will set the world free if you do the following.
We have the secrets to self-improvement.
Will absolutely, completely, and totally guaranteed 150% or your money back.
You can join us and be special.
2 words will completely and totally set you free and change the world.
Join our elite mission to save the world.
Control their thoughts.
Our ideology answers all questions to all problems.
Because you haven't added those 2 words which will set the world free. Against me. That's not why I have any particular issues with the Ron Paul presidency. The reason that I have issues with the Ron Paul candidacy is that it gives people the illusion that they can achieve something that they can't, and that prevents them from doing the actual hard work of being a libertarian, of being a moralist, of being a philosopher, of having the truth, which is implementing it. Not on a ballot, not in a checkbook, not on a blog, not on an email list, not on a forum, but in your life, with the people you know. If you think there's a magic pill that will make you thin, you'll never do the hard work of dieting. It is the fantasy that is enabling this false alternative which prevents people from doing the actual work which will set the world free. Guaranteed, guaranteed, it will set the world free if you do the following. 2 words change the whole equation. 2 words will absolutely, completely, and totally guaranteed 150% or your money back. 2 words will completely and totally set you free and change the world. The 2 words are against me. You understand the difference between do you support the use of violence in the abstract versus do you support the use of violence against me?
Induce fear.
The enemy will electroshock you, torture you,
Kill you.
Do you support me being shot? Are you going to cheer when they drag me away and throw me in a pit of anal rape? Do you support the use of violence against me? Not others. Not over there or that side of the street. But me, as a human being, sitting right in front of you, across the dinner table, across the bar. Do you support me being shot?
Just because he's batshit crazy does not preclude him from having a large or devoted following. And believe me, his fan base is very devoted, which is kind of tautological given some of the crazy things that he's gotten them to believe.
I think we need socialized medicine. Will you support me getting shot if I don't agree? You say, do you support the use of violence against me?
To which most people would say, well, it kind of depends what you're doing. Sometimes, yes. Most of the time, no. But for Stefan, no, this is really binary stuff.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Will you support me getting shot if I disagree? Somebody says, I support farm subsidies. You simply say to them, do you support me getting shot if I don't support them? I think we need socialized medicine. Will you support me getting shot if I don't agree? Or thrown into an ass-raping, gangbang, hellish prison hole? Do you support torture or violence against me if I disagree with you? We need old age security. Will you shoot me if I disagree? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Will you support me getting shot if I disagree? Do you advocate the use of violence against me if I disagree with you? If every libertarian in the world did this, we would be free very quickly. And that those in your life, not in the news, those in your life, who advocate and praise you getting shot, what are you going to do with those people? So, if you genuinely believe, if you are certain that the initiation of the use of force is immoral, and that those in your life, not in the news, those in your life, who advocate and praise you getting shot, what are you going to do with those people? If you're certain, what are you going to do with those people? You know the answer. It's nothing I need to tell you.
To say that the guy is hypocritical and cultish really doesn't begin to scratch the surface. All of the following clips are taken from a 20-minute video. All of the following clips are taken from a 20-minute video.
Of course I shouldn't be shot. Be shot. Should not be shot. Do you support me being shot if I don't support them? You don't keep people in your life who want you shot. You don't hang with people who want you shot. You don't go on little shopping excursions with a mother who wants you shot. You don't hang with people who want you shot. You don't go to dinner parties with people who want you shot. Do you understand? What about you means, what against me in terms of violence really means. You don't go to Thanksgiving dinner with people who want you thrown in jail. You don't go on little shopping excursions with a mother who wants you shot. If you do, and you can do whatever you want, but just now so you understand with real clarity, that if you sit down with somebody, look them in the eye and say, you support the use of violence against me? And that person says, yep. And then you say, great, let's go play some air hockey, right? Then you're a coward. And I say this, having been a coward in this way for many years. You have to look in the mirror and say, I'm a coward. It's a game to me. I'm discrediting ethics and philosophy by putting forward moral propositions, good and evil, and then just continuing to hang with the homies who violate every principle that I hold as moral, who advocate the use of violence, not in the abstract, but against you. You either have to give up your values as a libertarian, or you have to give up the people who want you shot. If a wife claims to say that spousal abuse is the most virulent and evil thing in the world, and you should never be with anybody who abuses you, and then continues to stay married to a man who is abusive, we have the right to say to her, give up your marriage or give up your values. Because right now, you're completely living in a hypocritical manner. It's vile. It's vile. It's vile. It's cowardly. It has no integrity. And it discredits everything that real philosophers are trying to achieve in this world. You either have to give up your values as a libertarian, or you have to give up the people who want you shot. If you're a Jew, right, you can't say, I'm a good Jew, and hang with a bunch of Nazis who want you shot. I mean, you can say it, but it's ridiculous. It's cowardly, it's hypocritical, there's some big psychological mess that's going on there. It's got nothing to do with either Judaism or Nazism, but with self-abasement and cowardice. Because how can I have even a shred of self-esteem, a shred of pride in my own existence, if I'm willing to hang out with people who want me shot? I mean, that's sick. But talk to them face to face. Go sit down with them at a coffee shop and say, so I just want to understand the basis of our relationship. So you claim to have some affection for me, some love for me, some respect for me, or whatever. Assume there's something positive in the relationship. And you say to them, sitting across from them, you say, excuse me, you say, do you support the use of violence against me? And they'll, of course, oh, no, of course not. It's like, oh, okay, so then we're on the same ground. So you don't support the use of violence just against me, or do you support the use of violence against everyone except me? It's like, no, I don't support the use of violence against anyone. It's like, well, then you must be an anarchist, or an anarcho-capitalist, or voluntarist, or whatever the hell. You must be a philosopher. You must be basically decent. And they say, well, no, I don't. I still believe in the state. I still believe in taxation. I still believe in government. I still believe in Ron Paul. Okay, well, then you do support the use of violence against me. And they will do whatever they can to disconnect these two things, theory and practice, so they can get all the emotional comforts of conformity with the theory with none of the emotional discomforts of actually advocating somebody getting shot, which people are relatively uncomfortable with. But don't let them have their cake and eat it too. That's not because you're mean, it's just reality. If you support me getting shot, at least have the courage, the balls, to look me in the eye and say, Steph, I support you getting shot. And then I can get you the fuck out of my life. Because how can I have even a shred of self-esteem, a shred of pride in my own existence, if I'm willing to hang out with people who want me shot? Are we that sick? That is self-abasement, self-groveling, self-denigration of the most revolting kind. Well, I know that you want me shot, but, hey, could I maybe get a little more meatloaf? And if we're not willing to do that, like if we're not willing to put our personal relationships to the test, if we're not willing to do that, that's fine. Nobody has to do anything. But don't imagine you have anything to do with libertarianism then. I mean, don't imagine that you have anything to do with virtue. That you're using these ideas to play the clever card, to play the cool card, to play the alternative card, to play the I'm smarter and know more than you, and I'm out of the matrix and you're in the matrix, and we play all this nonsense. Don't try and use philosophy. Don't try and use ethics for your own personal comfort and to feel superior and avoid the anxiety of asking people that basic central question, which you yourself bring up. You yourself bring this question up. And if you're not willing to get people who advocate the use of violence against you out of your life,
he would shoot you himself.
The state is a concept, and until we act with courage in that concept, against that concept, revealing the violence of that concept, not from the police, from the abstract, from the people who want the gun pointed at you. And if you're not willing to get people who advocate the use of violence against you out of your life, then for pity's sake, don't sit there and ask farmers to give up their subsidies. If you're not willing to give up your, quote, friends who want you thrown in jail, for the sake of all that's rational and good in this world, don't pretend to ask other people to give up anything. Don't sit there and say to people, yes, well, this group needs to give up welfare, and this group needs to give up the military-industrial complex, and this group needs to give up their subsidies, and all the lobbyists in Washington need to find real jobs, and look how strong I am at telling everybody else what they need to sacrifice and give up for the sake of virtue and truth. When you're not willing to withdraw from even one friendship or one relationship in your life with people who want you dead, you're daring to talk of the sacrifice of other people and what they need to give up? Please. Getting out of corrupt and exploitive and destructive and self-abasing personal relationships based on values that you aspire. I'm not making these things up for you. These are values that you aspire to, that you say are virtuous. To actually live by them in your personal life, to create a voluntarist society, a free society called you and your circle of friends and your circle of lovers and your circle of people. That's how we create a stateless society. is by acting on the principle of no unchosen positive obligations, of not saying, well, I was born into this family and I was born into this social circle, so I guess I'm going to have to hang with them even if they want me dead.